What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another NHL 17 Winnipeg Jets franchise mode video, episode 26 to be exact. And we're going to start right off by reading the comments. I asked you guys what we should do in order to push this team farther in the playoffs. We already won 2 cups. We're looking for another one here. And I have a comment from, I believe it's Luigi Del Rosario. I pronounced that wrong. I am 100% sure of it. But Luigi says, trade Eric Comrie or Connor Hellebuyck for Fleury or Murray or Anderson. Now, this would be a relevant comment if it was like a year ago. Now, unfortunately, my controller is flipping out right now. But, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Marc-Andre Fleury and Craig Anderson have retired. I mean, you could have been talking about Frederik Andersen, but I'm pretty sure most of them have retired. Matt Murray's probably still in the NHL, but he's probably, I think he maxed out like at 86 overall. So I don't think there's a reason to trade for him. We'll go ahead and take a look, though. Obviously, we're not going to win the draft lottery. And basically, my goal here is to kind of do a mini retool. Let's view retired players, shall we? I don't think anybody retired on our team. Wow, still nobody retired on our team. We still have some old players hanging on there. Getzlaf, Stasny, Rick Nash, Bobby Ryan, Shea Weber, David Baggett, Mike Green, Dustin Byfuglien, Keith Yandel. Keith Yandel last till he's 35. Tyler Bozak, Mikhail Backlund. Just a few players. Wow, I'm surprised that Radulov hung on this long. He was like a 81 overall for like 4 years, and he just hung on pretty good. So some pretty big names retiring there, mainly Getzlaf. Hung on till he was 37. He's still a third liner. What a beast. Let's check out goaltenders to see which goalies retired this season. Let's see here if it loads. There's Marc-Andre Fleury. I thought he retired last year. He retired this year. 79 overall, 37 years old. Kerry Lettinen, Corey Crawford, Corey Schneider, Brian Elliott, Al Montoya, Anders Lindback, Justin Peters, and Jeff Zakoff. So I'm pretty sure Matt Murray is only like an 86, 87 overall. But we can always take a look at it once we finish out the draft. I don't think we have a first round pick. I could be wrong. It's been a while since the last time I recorded. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure we don't. We do, actually. Okay, so we didn't trade it. That was one of the trades that didn't go through. It was for Taylor Hall. We attempted and it just didn't work. Let's see who goes first overall. No franchise players in the draft so far. I believe a franchise goalie pops up every now and then, but I'm not seeing any franchise goalies. They would have gone by now, so surprisingly nothing. Alright, boys. 26th overall pick. Who are we going to take here in the draft? I want to take a defender, but it looks like we can wait on that. I mean, this guy's an exact top 4 defenseman. I don't really need any more forwards. We have a pretty young forward core, aside for the veterans, but we do have some young people in the AHL that needs to be brought up. So this, what is it? Sturdwick? Lance Sturdwick, what a name. Played in the WHL, 18 years old. He's 6'2", 209 pounds, a two-way defender. You know what? We have so many defensive defensemen. I just cannot pass on this guy. We could take this guy, Louis Renza, but he's a low AHL top 4. Played in Luiga. He's 6'1", 20 years old. He could be more league ready. Louis Renza or Lance Sturdwick. Let's take Renza. I like the offensive defenseman. Low top 4. Hopefully the other one is also a low top 4. Top 6. Elite. Ooh, good. I thought that was the defenseman. I was going to be really disappointed with us. Play fair. Let's see what he was, because I'm pretty sure he just went last overall. Nope. Okay, so, hey, let's see what he is. Hopefully he's like a... okay, medium top 4. That sucks. Okay, Studwick. We should have taken him, but you know what? We'll prove to him that we took the better pick. I think we have a second question mark. There's a big question mark above that. I could be wrong on that. Alright, so we didn't have a second or a third, so here we are in the 4th round. Let's see what we're going to take. I see Couture. I mean, a center really can't hurt. He's an exact top 9 forward, playmaker. Slavin Couture, playmaker, 19 years old, 6 foot tall, played in the QMJHL. I don't really want to take him. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of centers. There's Colbert, 19. I mean, I'd rather just take this guy. We're just going to take Couture. He looks like the best available pick there. And he's a medium top 9. That's actually not that bad. Alright, next pick's in the 5th round. Let's see who we can take as a late round steal here. I doubt there's going to be anybody. This thick guy, actually. He's a 7th defenseman, offensive defenseman. So he might be like a low top 6, medium top 6. Orlando Parz. Or Orlando Fraze. We're going to take him because what a name. Come on, Orlando. Come on up to Winnipeg. Low top 6 defenseman. Another offensive defenseman to add to the AHL. Let's see, we're taking in the 6th round. Alright, guys, in the 6th round, 26th overall, 176 overall altogether. We're going to take, I don't really see anybody here that's really catching my eye. I like this Penzik guy, or Pentic, can't even say his name. We're going to take him because he looks like the best available player. Actually, yeah, we're going to take him. He looks like the best available player, being a 7th defenseman, low top 6. And here we go in the 7th round, 26th overall, 206 overall together in the draft. We are going to take this Hartman guy. No, we're not going to take a risk on anybody. We're going to take this guy, Rivers. 4th line AHL, I would rather not mess with that, though. And, you know, we're going to take a risk on Hartman. Maybe he's like a low AHL defenseman. You get what you bargain for. Alright, guys, here we are in the re-sign phase. We have $43 million in cap space. You can expect all of that to go away in just a blink of an eye as we take a look at all of our inspiring contracts, and there's quite a bit. Alright, guys, Josh Morrissey wants a 2-year deal at 7.3. We're going to give him 4 years at 6.225. Alright, guys, Patrick Laine wants 4 years for 5.650. We're going to give him 4.825 for 4 years. Alright, guys, we're going to give Christian Vesalainen 4.550 for 2 years. Alright, guys, Jansen Harkins wants 2 years at 3.825. We're going to give him 2 years at 3.275. Alright, guys, we're giving Edwin James, a guy we got from Florida last year in a trade at the trade deadline, his entry-level deal. He's already at 83 overall, so probably cracked the roster in his rookie year. Alright, guys, Logan Stanley wants 2 years at 3.225. We are going to give him 1 year at 2.750. Alright, guys, Tyler Myers wants 4 years at 5.8. We're going to give him 3 years at 4.95. Alright, guys, Connor Hellebuck is at 86 overall, 29 years old. He wants 6.175 for 4 years. We're going to give him 5.250 for 4 years. We are going to do a sign and trade and try to acquire another player for our roster in exchange for Connor Hellebuck. Alright, guys, we are going to release Patrice Bergeron, Jacob Trouba, and Blake Wheeler into free agency to free up some more cap space. Also, guys, we are going to just qualify Darcy Persani and Brendan Lemieux just in case we can't find anybody else in free agency to take their spot. We can always bring them back. Alright, guys, the guy we actually drafted in the 1st round this year, Couture, is actually already 72 overall, and he's 19 years old. We are going to give him an entry-level deal, even though he'll be sent down, just in case he does get a little bit of an increase. Maybe he can crack the NHL roster. I highly doubt it. Alright, guys, Tyler Myers does not want to be here anymore. Darcy Sharp accepted. Jamie Mayer, Josh Morrissey, Connor Hellebuck, McCarron, Couture, Butler, James, Kenko, Rensfeldt, Kuhlman, Mischaren, Logan Stanley, Jansen Harkins, Christian Vesalainen, Jacob Cederholm, Patrick Laine, Marshall Duncan, all accepted besides Tyler Myers. So he does not want to be here anymore. So that would be a huge loss, but maybe he just isn't meant to be here in Winnipeg. Alright, guys, Tyler Myers actually does not want to be here anymore. And you know what? I'm not going to offer him more money. He's 32, 87 overall. Although he is in his prime, he's not really a giant point producer on this team. I mean, he's a plus 30, but he's playing next to the likes of Josh Morrissey, a defenseman who will be captain on this team, if not already captain. I think Mark Scheifele we have as the captain here. So we will allow Tyler Myers to go into free agency and explore other options. If anything, we'll just offer him a contract. Alright, guys, here we are in free agency, and while Alexander Ovechkin is still hanging on, 36 years old, he wants a 1-year deal, but that's not going to happen with us. There's a few defensemen I would not mind going after. Nick Leddy is one of them, but I mean, Tyler Myers is the best defenseman. Although acquiring a forward, maybe like Philip Forsberg, would not be terrible. I don't think we really need Philip Forsberg. Wayne Train would be nice as well, but he's 33. I'm trying to keep people under 32 years old. That way we can hang on to them for a few more years. Victor Rask wants some big money for 4 years. That's crazy. He's talking crazy. Derek Brassard would not be a second-line center. We did just lose Bergeron, but I feel like we have plenty of young centers that need to come up and play in the NHL finally. Nick Leddy. He looks like someone we may go after. What's his points look like, though? 48 points on the season. That's nearly double what Tyler Myers had last season. And him playing next to the likes of Josh Morrissey would really help us out. So we're going to keep that in mind. But first things first, I told you guys we were going to do a sign and trade with Connor Hellebuyck, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We re-signed him, and now we are going to trade him away. I know that's kind of a dirty move to do, but there's no need to have two starting goalies here in Winnipeg. Obviously, Eric Comrie is our guy. I've said that multiple times. He's under a cheaper deal. He's got a lot more trade value, and he's younger. He could still grow. We have him for 3.7 for 1 more year. It's a pretty good contract. We're going to pay him next season. That's why we need to get rid of Connor Hellebuyck. Although having two starting goalies isn't terrible, it's not going to work for us. So we're going to find the team. I would prefer to send him to a team in the Eastern Conference, but we're going to find a team where he would get the starts, and maybe we could take back a defenseman. Alright guys, here's a trade I've worked up with Montreal. Now, they want Connor Hellebuyck. I do not know why. They still have Mr. Carey Price in the crease, but he is growing old. He is 34 years old. Still has 4 more years on his ridiculous contract, but they have nobody behind him. They want a starting goaltender behind Carey Price. I guess just in case, because Carey Price is in decline. They want a starting goalie behind him. Connor Hellebuyck signed for 4 years. Hey, there he is. He's 29. He's younger. 86 overall. So he's on the verge of being, like, he's a backup slash forward. He's a backup that can handle all the starts. So giving them Connor Hellebuyck actually makes more sense for Montreal. Now, getting back, we would get Mikhail Sergachev. He's not very happy there. He has one of those gray straight line faces. So he will grow a little bit in overall. Once he joins our team, he'll be happy about leaving the team and maybe get a jump to an 85. And then maybe in the offseason he'll grow to an 86. And maybe he can handle the first line minutes here in Winnipeg. That would be great if he can. If not, we're not going to push him to any heights that we wouldn't expect of him. But also we are going to get a third. That way we can use that towards the deadline. Would this trade go through? Is Connor Hellebuyck joining the Montreal Canadiens? Trade accepted. Maybe I should have taken a second. But as you can see, his morale did increase. Let's see if his overall didn't increase whatsoever. Let's see, where is he at? Mikhail Sergachev. He's happy now. He's still 84, but he's happy. He doesn't have that gray face. So that may help him out quite a bit when it comes to overall. Now, our defense gets kind of weak after just a few positions. So I'm really banking on either Logan Stanley, Mikhail Sergachev, or Darcy Persani getting a jump or being able to sign another defenseman. I'm not too keen on Brandon Carlo anymore. I kind of want to move him. I mean, don't get me wrong. Brandon Carlo's an awesome defenseman for the bottom pair. But I really want to give Jake Bean a shot. He's 24. He needs the push. That's all he needs. Same with Luke Green. They just need a little bit of a push to get to that overall, to join the NHL. I know Jake Bean's got the potential. We just need to push him a little bit. So maybe finding a trade for Brandon Carlo would not be terrible. We might not be able to get anything for him. I don't want to do it now. I'd wait until the beginning of the season. So let's go ahead and head back to free agency and see what we can do. Alright guys, one thing we are going to do is we are going to move out Oliver Borkstrand before we sign free agents, because I do want Patrick Laine to play right wing, the position he's supposed to be playing. I feel like that may be what's hindering his growth, is that we moved him to a left wing position. I want to move him back to the right, that way he can play his natural position. Oliver Borkstrand's a good player, don't get me wrong, but for that kind of money, we can sign someone crazy out of free agency, so let me find the right place for him and see what we can get back. Alright guys, I did find a trade for Oliver Borkstrand. Unfortunately, as a defenseman, I'm not going to complain though because it's a very young defenseman. We are going to sign some free agent first line wingers for the left wing and move Patrick Laine back to the right wing. That is my master plan. And the defenseman we're getting is actually a little bit cheaper than Oliver Borkstrand, but not by much. But we are going to our bitter playoff rivals, the guys who eliminated us in the Western Conference Finals, the St. Louis Blues, and we are going to go after Timothy Liljegren. Now, they are playing Timothy Liljegren on the third defensive pair. He's a top 4 defenseman. They're wasting him. He's not happy about it. He's 23 years old. He needs to be played on the top 4. That way he can progress the way he should. Now, they do need someone else. Well, they don't need. They're looking for another big scorer on the top 6 and on their offense. Now, Oliver Borkstrand isn't working out for us, but as many playmakers as the St. Louis Blues have, Oliver Borkstrand's going to be home in heaven playing with St. Louis. They will love Oliver Borkstrand. We will love Timothy Liljegren. So I don't know if this trade will go through right away. It did. Okay. Hey, we should have asked for more. But we have the defenseman we need. So let's go to free agency and sign some players. Alright, guys. The main guy I want to go after is Filip Forsberg. Now, we are going to have to pay him quite a bit. He wants 6 years. That's kind of overdoing it. But you know what? We're going to have to pay someone of that caliber 6 years. He is basically a 30-goal scorer. I think he had like 28 goals last season. I could be wrong on that. Actually, let me check. I know he was up there on the goal-scoring list. 23 goals, actually. But he had 57 points. He was on a bad team. But as you can see, he was a 30-goal scorer not too long ago, back when he had a good team, but all his teammates were traded or retired. So he was basically by himself. Next to Laine and Scheifele, this guy is going to be poison to any team that steps in his way. We could go after one Alexander Ovechkin, but obviously that would be overkill, and he's 36 years old. I am trying to build this team for the future as well as the current day. So going after Alexander Ovechkin really does not make any sense. He's only 88 overall. Yeah, Ovi can probably still score 30 goals. He had 20 goals last season. As you can see, he really dropped off quite a bit. He went from 50 goals a season to he doesn't even break 30 now. And he's a -17, so he's a defensive nightmare. I do not want to go after Alexander Ovechkin. I would rather go after Filip Forsberg. He's that first-line guy we need. Him and Laine next to Scheifele is just disgusting. We are going to pay him $8 million for 6 years. He should accept that. Actually, we're going to give him 8.5 because I really want to get Filip Forsberg. $8.5 million for 6 years. I really hope he takes that deal. I really don't see anybody else here we should go after for the first line. So if we don't get him, we're in trouble. That's all I'm saying. Because we just threw all of our cards in getting Filip Forsberg. I should have waited on that trade. But you know what? I have faith we will get Filip Forsberg. Let's check out the goalies in free agency before we sim to see if we get Filip Forsberg. Gillies, oh, okay, 85 overall. Really nobody crazy in free agency. Anybody slipped from the draft, low starter, nobody really worth going after. Actually, this guy is. No, he's 25. Never mind. I'm not seeing anybody who's really young. What about forwards? Anybody slipped from the draft that we can pick up an easy sign for? Jeremy Wall, you're 25, yeah. Everybody here is 25 or 26. It's probably already been picked clean. It looks like it. I'm not seeing anybody here worth going after. Actually, 20 years old. No, I'm not going to go after you. Our AHL team's already pretty full as it is. There's no reason to stack it to the core. We have a pretty good depth down there in the AHL. So I'm not really worried about it. So, Filip Forsberg, come play for us, and you will be rewarded with a Stanley Cup. We can assure you that we'll win the cup if you come play with us. That's all I'm saying. That's huge. I really want to go after somebody else here, but there's really nobody else worth going after. We have a lot of RFAs, so if we can't get somebody, we can always just sign the RFAs or trade them, depending on if we do get them or not. So let's go ahead and see if we get Filip Forsberg. I really want to acquire Filip Forsberg. I believe he will be the next step we need on the first line. Let's see if we can get him here. I am giving him a lot of money. Please sign with us, Filip Forsberg. Come on, you know you want to. We should find out right now. Rejected. As much as I would love to sign with your team, the chemistry in the locker room is a huge... What? Okay. Okay, wow. So Philip Forsberg does not want to come to Winnipeg because of the locker room morale. That doesn't make sense. The locker room chemistry, my bad. Doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't he want to come to Winnipeg because of that? Alright, you know what? San Jose is trying to get them. We will give you $8.8 million to come to Winnipeg for 6 years. Philip Forsberg, you cannot let this deal go. You will win a Stanley Cup with Winnipeg. Alright guys, well Philip Forsberg says no again, so we're going to have to offer this guy $9 million to come to Winnipeg. Our locker room chemistry is only 79. It's not terrible. It's not, like, he's saying, like, it's really bad. It's really not that bad. Alright, for 6 years, we will give you, I don't want to give him 9. We're going to have to give him $9 million for 6 years. That's going to be a big contract to lock up. 9.1 for 6 years. Philip Forsberg is getting paid. He's getting paid here in Winnipeg, but he'll win us a cup. If we can sign Philip Forsberg, we're winning a cup. And it's just going to be sick. We're winning a cup with Philip Forsberg. I assure you that if he signs here in Winnipeg. Let's see what he says. $9.1 million. Come on, Philip Forsberg. He says yes. We overpaid the crap out of him. But you know what? We got the first line guy we need. And everything's good. Good. Everything is good. That's exactly the way we needed it to be. Okay. Now, we are going to sim the next season before we do anything else and see where we are. Alright guys, so Darcy Pisani has been tendered an offer sheet of $4.6 million for 2 years by the Nashville Predators. Now, given the salary they have submitted, we will receive 2 draft picks as compensation. We can get a first and a third for Darcy Pisani, a guy who really wasn't a point producer. He did help out in the playoffs quite a bit. But, man, do we really want to let him walk to Nashville? Any other team I'd be okay with, but Nashville? Man, remind me in 6 days, we're going to have to think about that one. The Nashville Predators, our rivals. 4.6 though. Okay. You know what? We just got Timothy Liljegren. We just got Mikhail Sergachev. We still have Logan Stanley. We still have Brendan Carlo. And I do want to move up some people in the AHL to the NHL. We're going to take the first because we can make a huge trade with that first and third round pick. So we're going to take the compensation. So, okay, Noah Douglas. I thought it said that. Maybe I pressed the wrong thing. But hey, that's huge. That's a first and a third added to our bag of tricks we can use to acquire a better player here in Winnipeg. Alright guys, here are the owner goals. Be within $1 million of player, really. Okay, so just don't meet the salary cap. Beat Minnesota Wild in our first meeting, and boost team chemistry by 5. So we can definitely do all of that. Let's take a look at the team we would have at day 1. But first, let me swap Patrick Laine to a right wing. Actually, no, I'll do that in just a second. This is the team if we were to start today. Of course, I do have to move some people up. Edwin James is 21 years old, 83 overall. That's actually not that bad. But Philip Forsberg, Scheifele, Laine. Our team's not as strong as last year, but pretty strong. Liljegren actually got to jump up to an 87. So we have a pretty sick top pair. Then Mikhail Sergachev and Logan Stanley. So that's a pretty solid shutdown number 2. And then Luke Green and Brendan Carlo. So Luke Green did get the call up. Of course, Eric Comrie in the crease. Christian Heljenko scratched. We're sending Jake Bean back down. I do want to give him a shot, though. Jesper Timlander. Power forward. Big power forward. 6'1". He's got some good offensive stats. What did he look like last year? 46 points in 76 games. This is a penalty killer right here, guys. What was his plus minus? Plus 20. I don't know. Should I leave him down here for one more season? He's on a 2-way deal. You know what? I don't know. I don't want to hinder his growth. I'm not sure. Defense doesn't look like anybody's crazy down here. I will do the lines in the next episode and show you guys what we're working with. And then move all the players around because there are some players that need call-ups and that are scratched and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. So we'll get to that in the next episode. I am going to cut it here. So go ahead and comment if we should trade anybody, if we should go after another second line center. What should we do? I want to see those comments down below. If you comment, you get your name added into the Winnipeg Jets Hall of Fame. I'll pick your comment each video, and you will see your name at the end of the video. And the more you comment, the higher your rank gets on the Hall of Fame. So be sure to get those comments in. Be sure to press that like button if you did enjoy. Also, be sure to subscribe if you're new here. I am on the road to 500. We are getting pretty close. So, I hope all you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.